What's up, gamers and geeks? Matt here with That's Fair Podcasting and Gaming Geeks Live. And in 2020, towards the end of 2020, CD Projekt Red, not far off having released Witcher 3, released Cyberpunk 2077 to the world. And although it was released so buggy and damn near impossible to play on many aspects, it was impossible to play, CDPR stuck with it and turned that game around to be one of the greatest RPGs of all time. Now, CDPR has expanded their team and they're looking to make Cyberpunk 2 even bigger and better than the first. So stay tuned. I'll admit I was a late bloomer, so to speak. I read all about it. I've watched videos on how bad Cyberpunk 2077 was upon its release in 2020. But CDPR, man, they never gave up and they added so much to that game. And I ended up eventually playing Phantom Liberty, which is one of the most entertaining DLCs I may have ever played in my life. And I absolutely love the replay value of that game, constantly going back to Night City. But if you are new here, please feel free to subscribe to That's Fair Podcasting or Gaming Geeks Live. Please like the video, help us in that algorithm as you guys have done. And if you don't do any of those and you just want to hear some of what we do know is the latest about Cyberpunk 2, I believe Project Orion, thanks for joining. I sincerely appreciate it. But let's start off with the fact that Cyberpunk 2 is going to start with an entirely new map. And by saying it's going to have a new map, it's slightly bigger than Night City. But the cool thing about that is it's going to have more than one city. Now, from what I've read and heard, you're going to have more of a Chicago-style dystopian city. And you're going to, I think, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to be able to fast travel from that back to Night City. As you know, Night City is basically on the west end, more or less Los Angeles, or what it was before 2077. And then this new city is going to be, like I said, a dystopian Chicago, where I'm really excited to see how they do the fast travel. I'm sure that it might be later on after 2077, so maybe technology's advanced, but it will allegedly feature a fast travel between cities. So not only is it looking like we're going to get Night City back, we're going to get a new city, again, that dystopian Chicago-style city, and I'm looking forward to that. Now, in this city, one of the outlines is the city is headed in the wrong direction. One thing I read was it's been taken over by a rogue AI. That could be pretty interesting. Just again, depending on how far into the future they go with Cyberpunk 2. Again, I think it's still currently known as Project Orion. But CDPR, they are, they're churning out Witcher 4 first. We know that is to arrive probably in 2026 or early 2027. And then I think they're going to focus their efforts back to Cyberpunk 2. And I really, really hope they do it justice as they did with the first one. But the good news is with their expanding of CDPR, they're bringing in a lot of experienced hires to obviously give us more of a clean game upon release, which I really hope so. Again, I was sort of a late bloomer when it came to Cyberpunk 2077, so it took me a while to get into it. Probably about a year and a half after its initial release. It was still, I think at that time, kind of broken, but not. There had been some patches. But I'm telling you, what CDPR did is amazing, and it's made the replay value of going back to Night City and playing V so high. And I've done all three of them, I'm sure, as a lot of you fans have done too, with the Street Kid, the Corpo, and damn sure the Nomad, which I think is my favorite route to go. Now, you're going to have in this one more realistic crowds in this new city, meaning, and back in Night City as well, meaning that there might be more realistic interaction with them. They won't be as, I don't want to say hollow. I'm not gonna say that, because if I'm thinking of hollow random NPCs or random citizens, I think of Starfield. That's hollow. Night City wasn't as hollow. At least, they could bring some kind of humor to them as you heard them talking and whatnot. But we're going to have more realistic crowds. I don't know how much of an interaction we're going to have with these random people, but we could have a healthy amount of interaction, and hopefully some of the places are more enterable as far as the amount of places that Night City originally brought us. But look, you have CDPR coming along and adding to a game that they realized, by sticking with it, it ended up being gold. And I think that they learned from the first one, as most developing companies do, what they need to add in the second one. And I'm sure that they're going to add just the right amount of what we're looking for in Cyberpunk 2. Now, rumors are suggesting that Keanu Reeves would likely return. He wants to return. He wants the creators of Cyberpunk, obviously, as he's been in touch with them, to bring him back. Now, will he be Johnny Silverhand again? Most likely. But I'm kind of hoping in this one, he doesn't, necessarily take you over, infect you with a virus, and give you borrowed time. There's another video game coming out in 2026 I'm really looking forward to called Blood of Dawnwalker by Rebel Wolves, a vampire open world RPG game. But the only downside that I've heard about that one is you're going to be on a timer, so to speak. I don't like being timed in games. Now, yes, you were with V in Cyberpunk, but really it gave you all the time in the world to do all these different side things. As you progressed on the main story, then you started to speed up the virus that was affecting V. And as you know, I kind of hope that there's more of just a freedom where there's nothing pressing you down to race against time. Again, not that Cyberpunk 2077 did that. Again, you still have all the freedom you wanted. Unreal Engine 5 is believed to be slated to obviously take control of Cyberpunk 2, as I think it's going to in most games anymore now coming out. But I'm kind of excited. Think about, a Cyberpunk video game on Unreal Engine 5 with a more realistic crowd to back it. Guys, I mean, we could be in for a much larger immersive world than we originally thought. And I think with the way that technology is advancing in video games with Unreal Engine 5, guys, I think the sky could be the limit with CDPR and what they've got going on for Cyberpunk 2. Now, from what we know and what we've heard, CDPR is saying that this game will be released quicker than Cyberpunk 2077 did upon its initial hints and teasers as far as we know. There hasn't really been a lot on this, but this is what we know so far. Now, we do also know that CDPR has this game officially in pre-production. More good news. And they'll probably, like I said, full steam ahead greenlight the project once they release Witcher 4. But it is in pre-production as we speak. And they're, like I said, a significantly larger team in CDPR working on this. Now, most times larger teams mean quicker production. Here's to hoping. But not too fast. We don't want another 2077 debacle of 2020 with Cyberpunk. So hopefully, they bring in the more hired, experienced people and a larger team that can actually pump this out in good time. Now, it is a single-player game, but there have been speculations that it could have multiplayer elements in this based on some of the job listings that were recently posted for CD Projekt Red, meaning that there were some job offers for a multiplayer feel. So, guys, this opens the door for a possible multiplayer experience if that's what you're looking for. Nothing set in stone, but CDPR did open a job listing for people experienced in working with multiplayer online games. Now, there's also people. This hasn't been teased by any means, but a lot of people that I've talked to, they're like, we want a third person. Because in their minds, why do you want to spend so much time customizing a character if you don't really get to see him much unless you're taking photo modes or you're on your motorcycle like you did in 2077? I'm kind of on the fence either way with that. I'm not really pushing for a third person, but if they want to perfect a third person, as long as it doesn't move the way the shadows look like they were moving in Cyberpunk 2077, we could be in for a not so good experience. But, again, Unreal Engine 5, larger team, there very well could be third person in this because of the size of CDPR working on this as we speak. Now, As I close out this video, I gotta ask you, what are some of the things that you're hoping to see in Cyberpunk 2 yourself? I would really be interested in hearing what you have to say in the comments section, because anytime I get comments, I answer everybody back. I leave no one. I mean, the channel's small enough, I can still do that. So please give me some feedback on what it is you'd like to see. Some of the things I'd like to see are more home options to buy. It's not so hard to get your eddies. You get a fair amount of eddies running a lot of the missions, side missions, and whatnot. But hopefully, there's a way to access them quicker, and you can get a larger vehicle count. But I'd like to get a lot more home options. That's just something I'd like to see. Maybe more customization options, and as every game should have it, I think there should be a lot more martial arts incorporated in with the game mechanics. But anyway, please, again, let me know what you guys would like to see in the comment section with Cyberpunk 2 Project Orion. But that's really all I have, man. Thanks for checking this out. Those who stuck with me, thank you so much. Again, please feel free to subscribe to That's Fair Podcasting or Gaming Geeks Live. Like the video, and if you didn't do any of those, and like I said, you stuck it out with me, thank you so much. And to all you gamers out there, all love, and I'm outro.